This is the new 4K 60 Pro. Actually, you know what? This is the new 4K 60 Pro from Elgato. The original 4K 60 Pro came out in late 2017 as a premium capture card, mainly used by two groups of people. There were the console gamers that wanted to be able to capture their console gameplay and still be able to play at 4K resolution whilst capturing either at 4K or live streaming at 720p or 1080p or something like that. And then there was the dual PC streamers that had a gaming PC and a streaming PC, and they wanted to be able to capture all the footage from the gaming PC by using a high quality capture card. Now, nearly 2 years later, Elgato have announced a complete hardware redesign. I've been lucky enough to be in testing over the last couple of weeks, and I've got to say there are some really interesting new improvements, as well as maybe most importantly, a significant price drop. Let's take a look. Now, from the outside, you'd be forgiven if you think that the 4K 60 Pro, the new version, looks familiar. In fact, they've managed to reduce the size all the way down to what looks like it might be a very similar body to the one in the HD60 Pro. It's PCIe and it's still a single slot, but it has a much smaller footprint compared to the old device. 4K chips and circuits have obviously come a long way in 2 years since the original 4K 60 Pro was released. And it's great to see that Elgato is taking the time to update their existing hardware and making it more useful for streamers and content creators. One of the first major improvements is that it now allows for HDR capture. HDR, which stands for High Dynamic Range, is a new display standard for technologies, and it just delivers a greater color depth and contrast than traditional SDR or standard dynamic range. This results in a much punchier image with brighter highlights and much darker blacks that are truer to what we see in the real world. The old 4K 60 Pro did allow for HDR pass-through, which meant that you could still play your games in HDR and actually see that on your monitor, but it only allowed for SDR capture. So when it actually came to recording your games from the 4K 60 Pro, it would just be recorded in SDR. So who is this new HDR feature useful for? Well, it's more useful for the console gamers, especially people playing on the newer consoles, the PS4, the PS4 Pro, the Xbox One S or the Xbox One X, as they all support HDR. This HDR content can be then recorded using the new 4K 60 Pro and then uploaded to YouTube, who supports HDR. So anybody with an HDR compatible monitor can then watch the gameplay that you've recorded in HDR. I feel like I'm saying the word HDR a lot. But it's useful for those console gamers that are specifically uploading highlights to YouTube. It's worth noting that right now, no live streaming platforms or live streaming software actually supports HDR. So this is specifically currently just for content creators. Another new feature of the 4K 60 Pro is that it now allows you to use the video feed in multiple different applications simultaneously. What this means in a practical sense is that you can use the 4K 60 Pro to capture gameplay and then stream that using OBS Studio or Streamlabs OBS with overlays, webcam borders, alerts, background music, all those kind of things. And then simultaneously, you could use something like the Elgato Capture utility to record the gameplay without any of the alerts or background music or anything like that, while still streaming, and then you can have a really high quality recording without any overlays and alerts that you can upload to YouTube or find highlights from, and then you still have your live stream that you're using in OBS Studio and Streamlabs OBS with all of those added extras that make your live stream more entertaining. I literally just released a video talking about how you can live stream whilst recording at 2 different qualities so that you can upload a high quality version to YouTube. You guys seem to love it, but the #1 question was how you could record just your gameplay without any of your overlays and things like that. And the 4K 60 Pro with this new multi-app support definitely makes things easier. The card has been designed to be completely plug and play out of the box, so it works with streaming software like OBS Studio, Streamlabs OBS, or XSplit. The new 4K 60 Pro still looks like a great choice for dual PC streamers that want to play at high refresh rates, as it allows for 1080p capture at 120 Hz, 144 Hz, all the way up to 240 Hz, and also 1440p capture at up to 144 Hz. As I mentioned at the start of the video, one of the best changes about this card is the new pricing structure. Elgato have somehow managed to drop the price massively. I imagine some of the hardware as it's advanced over the last couple of years has become cheaper, but still a massive price drop. For context, the old 4K 60 Pro cost just under $400 or just under €400 or under £360, and the new 4K 60 Pro is retailing at $250 €250 or £230. So that's a whopping 37% cheaper than the old retail pricing for the 4K 60 Pro. And you've got to remember, this is actually a better capture card than the old 4K 60 Pro 2 at such a saving. I have, as always, included some links down in the description below if you want to purchase the 4K 60 Pro from Amazon. I've also included a link where you can check out more details about the 4K 60 Pro from the Elgato website. I'm really looking forward to pushing this capture card to its absolute limits over the next couple of months. I think this might be a really good opportunity for me to think about building a streaming PC, because then I could create some video guides about gaming and streaming PCs, because I know a lot of you have been requesting that kind of video. And now that there's a proper capture card that I can really recommend while still gaming at 1440p, 144 Hz, I think this might be the time to create that video. If you have any thoughts or questions about the 4K 60 Pro or about capture cards or about anything streaming in general, I would highly recommend checking out the Gaming Careers Discord, where we have a whole community of streamers helping each other every single day. It's a really great place to be. There are links to that again in the description. If you are new here to the Gaming Careers YouTube channel, the whole channel is completely dedicated to helping you improve your live stream. So feel free to check out the other videos, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss an upload. Finally, a massive thanks to this month's patrons who support the Gaming Careers channel and allow me to do this as a full-time job. Subscribers, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.